Hey, amazing audience. GoPro start recording. How are you doing? We are live right now. We are located in, where are we right now, Louis?
We are in Toronto, and
Right.
we are in Greenwood Park,
Sweet.
which is in the area of Toronto called Leslieville. And it's one of Toronto's many beautiful parks.
Yeah, it's beautiful here actually. So we're live with Louis Di Bianco, and he's about to tell us a bit about himself in 12 minutes. Louis, let's start with if you had to sum up which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history.
That's easy. I can do it in one word. My talent as a storyteller and my passion for storytelling, which has really shaped my life and led me to most of the important choices I've made.
Tell us more. I mean, what types of story have you told?
Well, I love telling the brief story of how I became a storyteller growing up in the Bronx in New York, in an area that at that time was pretty violent. And I looked like a tough kid, but I wasn't tough. In fact, I loved to read, I liked the arts, I liked poetry, novels, but I had to deal with guys who were lifers in that neighborhood. These were guys who basically used to hold up the elevated train by just leaning on the poles all day. And I had to cross through their turf to get to school, and it was always very threatening. And one day they started intimidating me, and I discovered that I had the ability to say something to make them laugh, engage them, and they started to like me. I charmed them with my ability to talk. And it triggered, that's my weapon. I don't fight with my fists. I don't fight with knives and guns. I fight with this. It eventually led to my becoming a professional actor, and I made a living at it. I'm still making a living at it. And then I started teaching people how to be better business people by using story in their presentations. And my whole life has been, that's what excites me the most. I get excited about story as a way of connecting and as a way of communicating effectively and authentically with people.
Who did you learn that from?
I really learned it, I think, out of necessity on the streets of New York. But then I refined it because I started taking courses in university in English literature,
Right.
and learning how to craft a story, not just come up with one on the fly so that I wouldn't get my ass kicked,
Right.
But how to craft stories professionally. And then when I went and studied acting professionally, to me, dramatic storytelling is the ultimate form of storytelling.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, right now, if you look at marketing, all marketing is studying dramatic communication. They're even using screenwriters to help them tell their marketing stories better.
Yeah. Is there someone in your family that had a similar type skill of storytelling?
I'm told, I never met this uncle, but he was in Italy. I never did meet him, but apparently my mother used to tell me that he had that. He was a poet, a man of literature, a man of languages. My parents certainly not. I mean, they were. Well, my father had the gift of gab, but I mean, he was a chef, and my mother was a house. She was a homemaker.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, why will you continue to repeat the skill of being a storyteller? Now that, I mean, you've done it in the Bronx, you've done it as a profession. Why will you continue to repeat that skill?
Why do I continue to repeat it? Because it really has become the essence of who I am. And I honestly believe that everyone's got something in them that they want to express. For some people, it's just an important personal message. For others, it's also a business message. And unless you master the tools of dramatic storytelling, you're never going to quite be able to tell it with the kind of clarity and power and precision and authenticity that it deserves. Because dramatic storytelling isn't just about making things up. It's about how do you connect your emotions to what you want to say? How do you paint pictures for people, right? That move them.
Okay.
Not just pictures that dazzle them, but pictures that move them. Look, my podcast is called Change Your Story, Change Your Life. And I believe that everything we say is just a made-up story. Everything we believe about ourselves is a made-up story. You and I were talking about obstacles and failure. If you face something, a challenge, and you go, you know what, this challenge is too big for me, and I know I don't have the skill to do it. You have just made that story your truth.
Beautiful.
It's true.
Where's the best place for people to connect with what you do, though? Like if they needed to find out more about Change Your Story, Change Your Life?
One of the best ways right now is to my podcast.
Right.
On iTunes, it's Change Your Story, Change Your Life. And the website is changeyourstorypodcast.com.
Love it, love it.
Yes.
What's one other thing you've done consistently over the last 3 years?
Consistently? I've been a network marketer for 12 years.
Wow.
And network marketing, to be done effectively, is about the art of telling your story and other people's stories authentically.
How does that make you feel, looking back? It's 12 years. We love the number 12 here on the 12-Minute Convo podcast, right? But how does it make you feel?
How does it make me feel? What do you mean, how does it make me feel? Like
looking back to just say that, to say it's been 12 years since I've been a network marketer.
It's fabulous. The reason being that the entire journey is a constant journey of growth. The relationships that I formed as a result of doing it are amazing. Actually, I recommend network marketing not just because the money is great, but if you want to constantly expand your circle of friendship and your circle of intimacy, network marketing is the place to do it. Because when you build a team, you're building a family. You are helping those people transform their lives for the better. And many of the people that I met 12 years ago are like family members today.
Wow, that's amazing.
And really.
Amazing. That's wonderful. Again, amazing audience. We're live with Louis Di Bianco, right? Check him out. Change your I almost said change your podcast. Change your mind. Right?
No. Change your story podcast.com. And if you find it on iTunes, it's Change Your Story, Change Your Life.
There we go. Yeah. If I told you I did that purposefully so that it could stick, would you believe me?
You did what?
I did that purposefully so it would stick to anyone who's listening. Would you believe me?
You made what?
I made the mistake purposefully. Would you believe me?
Sure.
Okay, I didn't do it. It was a mistake. Let's switch gears. Let's switch.
No, that's interesting because I have a story about that.
It worked. But let's switch gears for a moment. Let me invite you into my imaginary time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Louis, share with us, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Okay, I'm just going to go with the spontaneity. I remember that as a very young child, I loved looking at older women.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I remember, I must have been 6 or 7.
Right.
And I was in the schoolyard. And we had a neighbor who was drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah.
She was a married woman in her 30s. I was a kid.
Yeah. About how old were you?
6 or 7.
Wow.
And I remember her walking up the stairs, and I was fixated on her.
Wow.
And I gave her a wolf call whistle.
What is a wolf call whistle?
I know
in Trinidad we do something like this.
No.
Not like that?
I can't even whistle right now, but
Yeah.
wow, you know.
What was her reaction?
Huh?
What was her reaction?
I don't think I was actually sitting in a tree.
Okay.
So she kind of just turned her head. Where did that come from?
Why do you think that memory is so clear?
Because it's sexual, and sexual memories are embedded in every frame of your body, in every cell of your body.
He's saying that and his waist is moving. If you had to connect that memory to who you are today, is it possible?
Yeah, sure. Here's why. Great acting, which is great storytelling, requires 3 ingredients. You could find this in all great actors. A sense of danger. And by that I mean great actors are not predictable. When you're watching them in the moment, you're kind of tense because you don't know what they're going to do next. I saw Harvey Keitel on stage. He felt like just standing there, he was a lion about to pounce. You didn't know who he was going to pounce on.
Yeah.
It involves a sense of humor and sexuality. John Travolta has all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Sexuality, I think it comes, when I say sexuality, I don't mean being a dirty, or like in a lecherous way, or in a seedy way.
Yeah.
But just acknowledging, if you're a man, your masculinity, and appreciating a woman's femininity,
Yeah.
and allowing that to be there in the communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that if you divorce storytelling from an element like that, you've got storytelling that's cold. It comes from the head. It doesn't come from the heart.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Well, I mean, you did it, right? Like, I don't think, like, usually I would say, can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind? And for me, it was along the same road, right? Like the drama, right? The dramatization of everything that went on there, that's represented in who you are, right? Which is intriguing that it connects, right? From when you were 6 to now, right?
Yeah, man.
If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Okay, I'll tell you, I remember the first record that I bought.
Right.
I'm going to date myself, I don't care. It was Bill Haley's and the Comets' Rock Around the Clock.
Yeah, yeah.
I had gone to see a film called Blackboard Jungle.
Wow.
And they played that song, and then I just bought it and put it on a phonograph.
Yeah.
It was wax, man, and I just played that thing until, wore out the grooves, man.
That's good. That's good. Amazing how even that connects, right? Like,
of course it does.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. Because rock and roll then was considered very dangerous and threatening to the adult world because
the 3 things, right?
It was
elements.
It was dangerous, it was funny, and it was very sexual.
There we go. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, right? We'll go pretty quickly here, right?
Okay.
Have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Have I chosen someone to pass on my skill to? Like as a form of private mentorship? I feel that I do that because I am at heart a teacher. I have been a teacher, by the way, in many different settings. And what I love to share with people is how to find their voice, identify their story, and then get it out into the world.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
I do believe in God. I believe that there is a force higher than us that is at the center of creation, and that it's real, and that we are part of it, and that our destinies are about moving closer to that. Do I believe in a specific, like a personal God, of any particular religion? No. I would say I'm more spiritual than religious.
Do you have an inner circle of friends? An inner circle of friends?
An inner circle of friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Most of the time, no. I did last night.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 hours a day or less than 8 hours a day?
Well, probably 8 hours a day easily, because most of the work I do is online.
Okay.
So but I'm not there surfing the web,
Yeah, you're working.
you know, finding out,
You're
you know,
working.
yeah.
If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Louis Di Bianco.
Di Bianco.
Boom! I love it. I did it again. High five, high five, high five. I did it again. Make a mistake. It's fixed. What would you say that statement is?
My statement would be very conscious of the words you say to yourself, because every single word is creating a story that you're living into. The words can either empower you or they can take your power away. Let them empower you, because if they empower you, you're then going to pay it forward and empower others.
I love it. I love it. Amazing audience. You heard it live here from Louis Di Bianco. All right. Thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-minute convos with Angel Jones.
It was a lot of fun, man.
Appreciate that.
Are you familiar with Linton Kwesi Johnson?